Hello, everybody, and welcome to season 2 of our coaching career in NCAA Football 13. I, of course, am CR Daredevil, and right now we're still the offensive coordinator of the Florida Atlantic Owls. However, I do want to point out that when I was doing the offseason stuff, which isn't going to be in this video, this is going to be just a recap of the offseason stuff. I did get offered the head coaching position for not only North Texas, who is in our conference, but I also got offered the head coaching position of Ole Miss, which would have been the SEC, which would have been interesting, as well as a couple of other offensive coordinator and head coaching jobs, um, including the head coach for our own team, because our own head coach, his contract expired, and he actually got hired by Colorado to be their head coach. So we have a new head coach this season, which we will go into in a second here. So recruiting board wise, we'll look at that first here. We're not going to create any prospects. So we got a good amount of people in the off season. A lot of young talent, and honestly, probably won't have too many people we're going to need this coming season for recruitment wise. Yeah, we kind of got a lot of people. We have a full roster right now as well. We have 70 people on there. Okay, so we have 2 defensive ends, a middle linebacker, a center, and a cornerback that are going to be leaving us this year. Okay, so we have to fill those positions for sure. Right off the bat, we're going to do anybody who has any interest. 9 teams have interest in have us in their top 10. All right, so a couple defensive ends, which we need. So we'll go ahead and put them on there. Let's get all of them. Actually, no, I might as well just target all of them. Why not? We can always move people around and stuff like that. So let's see. A center. So defensive ends, we have some, and there is a cornerback on there, so we could get him through that. A middle linebacker. There's not a middle linebacker there, so we're going to have to look for a center and a middle linebacker. So let's look for a center first. So nobody has any interest in us. Okay. We're not going to go super high caliber because I don't think we would have a chance. So we're going to go like 2-star. And we want ones from Florida because we're going to have the best chance going after somebody from Florida. These guys are in their top 8. He's in their top 10. He's a 51 overall. This one's a 55 overall. As of right now. Not great skills, but they could improve when we scout them. Playing time, proximity, and home are really the only ones we'd have for him. Let's go ahead and put him on the... Let's do that, and then we'll put this one on here too. Just to have some. Alright, and then let's go back. And middle linebacker was the other one that we did not add any. Probably going to look at a cornerback as well to add. Because we're going to end up needing a cornerback. Let's stick with Florida. Alright. I mean, we could go for the top right away. We'll kind of point out why that is a possibility here shortly. Oh, we got to take this guy from FIU. Got to keep FIU from getting someone. And let me go look for another corner just to be safe. I have the one there, but let's look for another corner just to be on the safe side. Just in case we lose out on him. You know what? Let's take a chance with this one. Let's try to go for a 3-star guy. Okay. So, last season, we were 91st, I believe, in top classes. So that was decent-ish. Not fantastic, but it was decent-ish. Red shirt, I'm probably not going to end up doing any. Maybe I will. We have, like I said, we have a full roster, including 4 quarterbacks. We could put Stover on red shirt. We're kind of spoiling stuff here, so I'll think about it here in a second. But depth chart wise, so what is all of that? Oh, that's right. Both of those quarterbacks are transfers. Okay, so as you see here, Darryl Stover is going to be our starting quarterback this year, 66 overall, so not bad. But in the wings, having to sit out this year because of transfer, which means we probably won't play him unless we actually stick with Florida Atlantic after this. We got a 72 rated quarterback coming in from Miami. Michael Cunningham decided to transfer to us. So in the wings, if we stay with this team for season 3, we would have a 72 rated quarterback running the show. But for this year, we've got Darryl Stover, who is a 66 overall quarterback running the show. Decent-ish stats, not terrible. We'll kind of have to see how it plays out. He has a 77 throw power and 72 throw accuracy, so probably pretty decent, honestly. I think that's better than what Jesse Cox had, so that would be that. There'd be halfbacks this year. Obviously, starting off with Brett Daniels going to be starting. He's an All-American this year. He actually is an All-American. He's bumped up to 70 overall now, which is crazy. Aaron Duncan, still the second guy, 69 overall. Then we got this Zach Johnson guy. He's a senior. He's a 68 overall. We got him as a transfer, I believe, or not transfer. We got him in from junior college, I believe. So that's gonna be interesting. So that'll be a nice little trio team in case Daniel or Duncan get hurt. Zach Johnson should be able to step up pretty well in that role. Fullback wise, we did lose David Hearn to graduation, so we've got Allen Robinson, a 62 overall fullback, with Dan Baker backing him up. I thought I had another one, but I guess I don't, so that's fine. Wide receiver wise, what is going on here? Oops. All right, something got screwed up with this. Sweep that. We're not using a tight end anywhere near up that high. I think I have another tight end or wide receiver here. Yeah, I got a couple more. Okay. So Brian Stewart is our top wide receiver this year. He had a decently successful year last year. 36 catches, 563 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So we'll have to see how he is in the thrust into the main receiving role here with the team. Ryan Jones is number 2. He was not. I think he's a transfer actually. I think he's a JUCO transfer. 87 speed, 88 acceleration, 85 agility, 69 catching. So he's going to be super quick. It's just going to be whether he can actually catch the ball or not. It'll be the answer there. But he's a 67 overall. We got Charles Walker, who we did see some action for last season, I believe. Yeah, he had 27 catches for 348 yards. He's going to be the third string guy, or the slot guy if needed. Kareem Johnson here. And as you saw, again, another transfer. We got Andy Scott, who's a freshman transferring in. He's a 67 overall. So if we stick with season 3, we'll have him as well. Tight end wise, we have Joe Hamilton as our starting tight end. He's 62 overall. Not as good as Jake Meyer was, I believe. So that's going to be a little interesting. He had 7 catches for 49 yards last season, so it'll be interesting to see if he can step up in that role. Of course, Jake Meyer was the leading receiver, or at least he caught the most balls last year. So it'll be interesting to see if he can step up into that role. 83 catch in traffic is pretty good. 76 route running is pretty good. So it'll be kind of interesting to see if he can step into that role there. And then Lester Smith will be backing him up. Lester Smith, not playing at all. He's a freshman. Not a lot of great stats there, but that's fine. Left tackle, these all got borked up a little bit, it seems like. Oh, he transferred over. So left tackle is going to be a little rough because we had a transfer come in, and we didn't really have anybody else at left tackle. So Jeff Slater is going to be our starting left tackle at a 58 overall. not exactly what we want to see. So we're going to have to be careful with that left tackle side of things. 66 overall left guard, Mark Williams. I believe he might have played last year. I don't remember for sure. So we'll have to see if he can kind of help out with Slater here on the left-hand side. Center, Larry Sanchez, who was our center last year, I believe. He only gave up 2 sacks last year, 14 pancake blocks. I can't speak now. He is an 80 overall, so he is going to be a force up there at the center of the line. 82 pass block, 83 run block. So people are not going to be coming up the middle against him. He is going to be able to put people down up the middle there. Again, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why that didn't happen, but we got a 59 overall Stephen Clark coming in as the backup there. We'll have to see how that plays out. Right guard, we have Gene Rushing as our starting right guard there. We did lose, kind of thankfully, we lost our starting right guard last year after all the holding calls he had against him. So 62 overall right guard here. Not great, but also not terrible. He's got 73 pass block and 73 run block, so should be pretty decent when it comes to blocking. His awareness is really low, but we'll have to see how that plays out. In the right tackle, we've got Daryl Benjamin, a senior, who's at 61 overall. We'll have to see how he plays out there. He did have a little bit of time last year. He was the backup. He had a little bit of time in there last year. 70 pass block, 71 run block, so not too bad there. We'll have to see how that plays out for us. On the defensive side, Kenneth Webb is there. Not that we care too much about the defense side because that's more just, in the background, but it will matter because obviously a good defense is going to help an offense be good as well. He had 18 tackles last season. He was a backup, I believe. He had 7 sacks though too, so that's crazy good. So maybe he wasn't the backup. Maybe he was a starter. He just didn't have that many tackles. Right guard or right end, Tony Johnson here, who had 11 tackles last year, 4 sacks. So we'll have to see how that plays out there. Defensive tackle, we got Jerome Smith, 70 overall, starting there. 15 tackles, 4 sacks last season. And we got 2 Coopers. We got a Mark Cooper. Wait, why is that on there twice? All right, that's glitched out. Never mind. I don't know why that glitched out like that. Let's just fix this real quick. But yeah, so we got that, and then Mark Cooper here, who will be kind of right there as well. I don't know what defense we run. We might run a 4-3. If we're running a 4-3, then we would need 2 defensive tackles. Left outside linebacker, we have, let's fix this here. So we have a 74 rated left outside linebacker, which should be good for us. Chuck Allen here. He only had 5 tackles last year. He had 14 assisted tackles, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble. But, he's a senior this year. He should be pretty good when it comes to coming in and being a force there in the, in the linebacker core. We've got a 66 overall middle linebacker starting things off for us here. Brandon Kane, who had 2 tackles last year and a forced fumble. So not great stats from last year, but he's going to have an opportunity. He's going to have an opportunity to shine this year and see if he can be what we hope for him to be. Be a force there in the middle linebacker core. And then a 78 overall right outside linebacker. That is completely crazy there. Oh wait, he's a transfer. Brian Williams, who had 22 tackles last year. He had 34 assisted tackles. 1 quarterback sack, 1 interception, 2 pass deflections. So he was a good guy on our defense, and he's going to be an impact player this year. So that's good to see. So that linebacker core is going to be pretty good there. Cornerback, we have people here. Let me fix this really quick. Okay. So we have a 73 overall cornerback, Ronald Brewer. He's a senior. He had 11 tackles last year, 5 assisted tackles, 1 pass deflection. So he wasn't a starter at the time, but he's going to get a chance this year. He's a 73 overall. 71 overall, Adam Lester. 13 tackles last year, 29 assisted tackles, 7 pass deflections. So he might have been a starter last year for us. And then Chris Washington will be third string there. 19 tackles, 27 assisted tackles, 2 interceptions. So he probably was the starter too. So Brewer will be good for us here. Thrust him in there and get him pretty good. So free safety wise, I want to point, free safety wise is kind of interesting. So this guy right here, Fred Rutledge, was actually, or was it? No, it was Cody Cantrell. Cody Cantrell actually came in as an athlete. We recruited him as an athlete, and when I went looking through his stuff, his best overall was as a free safety. So he's a 72 overall junior. He will be backing up Fred Rutledge at the moment. But if Rutledge goes down with an injury at all or anything like that, Cantrell will be right there to kind of back up and do well there. And the strong safety, Bradley Cochran. So I don't know for sure. I might change my mind about this because I am known to do that. And kind of mix things around a little bit. I don't normally do this, but with him being a 66 overall, Cochran here, who's never played, I might actually see if Cantrell could be the starter on the strong safety side. Because he would be a 69, so he would be better than the current starter. So I could do that and then have those Rutledge and Cantrell as the safeties, which could be potentially good. Let's see. Cantrell has better speed, better strength, better agility, acceleration. Not as good trucking, which is fine. He's got way better ball carrier vision, which is obviously a really, could be a good thing. If he gets an interception. His catching rate is slightly better, which should be good for interceptions as well. His jumping is a little bit less. But here's kind of where that plays out because his tackle is a little bit less and his hit power is a little bit less. So that would be potentially harmful when it comes to being a safety. His pursuit is a little bit less, but his play rec is way higher than Cochran's. Main coverage is a little bit better. Zone's a little bit less. Press is a little bit more. So, it's something I'll have to think about. He has a little bit less stamina and injury, though. So I'll keep Cochran in for now, but maybe I'll keep an eye on it. And if Cochran's struggling in the season, then maybe I'll put Cantrell in as a starter for there. Even though, again, it doesn't matter too much because we're not running the free safety stuff. Kick return-wise, something got screwed up there. I don't understand why this game does that. Or these games do that, but whatever. So, kick return-wise, we'll have Adam Lester, the cornerback, coming in as a kick returner. And then we'll also have Brian Stewart doing kick returns as well for us, with Cantrell being the backup for that. Punt return-wise, it'll be Stewart as well. Or not Stewart, sorry, it'll be Lester as well. So we've got that there. Well, I don't know. Cantrell might be kind of worth it at this position, but we'll think about it. We'll think about it and see. So there you go. We'll have some interesting stuff to go on here, as we'll have Darryl Stover as the starting quarterback for our team. It'll be interesting to see how well he does. He only has 76 injury and 77 stamina, so he might be getting. He might get knocked out kind of early on in games. Williamson at least has 83 stamina and 84 injury, so he's going to be a little bit better there. But yeah, Stover's got the better stats, but he's got less stamina, so that'll be interesting to see how that's going to end up playing out. Because, of course, we can't put Cunningham in because he's a transfer. We also can't put Blankenship in because he transferred in too, so 2 quarterback transfers that is not going to help us this season, but would help the Owls in the future here for the team. Custom schedule-wise, I'm probably just going to stick with the schedule that it has, unless there's a bunch of FCS teams. I might take those off. Let's see. Ball State, at number 14, Virginia Tech. Oof. At USF versus Tulane. So our first home game is week 4. Then we've got UL Lafayette as our first conference game of the season this year. Open game, North Texas, Middle Tennessee State, all these other ones, obviously. So this year we are ending with UL Monroe at home. But we still have the Western Kentucky and then FIU thing going on there. So we'll have to see how that plays out. We already have 12 games scheduled, so I'm probably going to stick with this season, with that schedule, honestly, and kind of go from there. Coaching feedback. So we are at a C+. Right now, we still have these 5 goals left to do. We did complete the 10 passing touchdowns in each season. We completed that last year. We completed the 500 rushing yards last year. We completed the 10 points per game last year, and we completed the 2,000 total offensive yards last year. So as long as we complete those this year, we will get those goals. The 8 games in one season we did not get last year, but if we fail that one, it's not as big of a deal because there's no penalty for failing that one. So we'll have to see how that plays out. And we never know. We might actually stick with this team too after that. We'll have to see. Coach info wise, we are at C+ prestige. So our new head coach is Jason Lewis. I'm not sure where he came from. Yeah, it doesn't show us any historic stuff there, so I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly where he came from, but we'll have to see. He's a D- prestige, so we'll have to see how that works out. And then defensive coordinator Tom Burns stayed with us this year, so we'll have to see how that plays out as well. We'll have to see. Do we have any prediction stuff yet here? We do not. I'd have to go through. I have to go through this stuff in order to get there. All right. Should we redshirt people then? We'll see if there's anybody we should redshirt. Well, obviously we're not going to redshirt Stover now because he's our starting quarterback. We could redshirt McKinney. He's not starting. He's not even in the top few here. So we could redshirt McKinney. Give him an extra season. Let's do that. Let's redshirt this guy. So why not? That's not what I meant to click. He's a freshman, 58 overall. We could redshirt him. He probably won't be starting anytime soon anyway. I think everybody else we can't really afford to redshirt that much. Well, I guess here. We redshirt Barclay here. Give him an extra season, potentially get better. Again, it might not matter too much because we're probably not going to be playing. We're probably not going to be staying as this team in the future, but we'll redshirt a few people there. All right, let's go to the regular season real quick. We're not going to play a game. We'll go to the regular season in this, so that way you guys can see kind of the early stats there. Kind of see where they're predicting us to be finishing out in the conference and all that stuff. And then the next episode will be game 1 of the second season, where we will have to see how we can do this year. See if we can do better than the 6-6 record we did last year. If Stover can stay healthy, maybe we can have a chance there. Obviously, we have Daniel and Duncan back again, that 1-2 duo there. So that should be helpful for us. Do a good ground game this year. See if we can do better than we did after that 6-2 start that ended up falling apart towards the end with a 4 game losing streak. I also forgot to check when I was simulating through everything, I forgot to see who actually won the conference championship last year. A pair of Cellar Dwellers go at it Topin 2013. Because we're taking on Ball State. I forgot to check who won the conference championship. I did see that it was a halfback from Wisconsin that won the Heisman. So preseason polls. We're just going to scroll all the way down here because they're going to have us way near the bottom. We are 109th. 109 out of 123 teams. So, yeah. We'll see how that plays out for us, because we also were predicted to do really bad last year, and then look what happened. So, conference outlook-wise, we are predicted to finish 6th in the conference, ahead of Troy, UL Monroe, and Middle Tennessee State. We'll see how that plays out. Because, again, we were predicted to go kind of bad last year, and then we pulled off a 6-6 record. So, we'll have to see about that. Heisman watch. Well, obviously, we won't have any Heisman watches. Preseason All-Americans. I don't think we had any all NCAA ones. Oops. Not what I meant to click. I meant to go second team. Yeah, it doesn't look like we did. But we can go look at Sunbelt. So, Brett Daniel, a preseason All-American, first-team All-American for the conference. We also have left end Kenneth Webb, who's a conference All-American first-teamer. We also have defensive tackle Jerome Smith. All right, second team. We have anybody here? No, we don't. So we have 3 first-teamers, and that's it. Including Brett Daniel, who had a great year last year. As you see there. We'll have to see if he can keep things going this year. He's 70 overall now. 85 speed, 82 acceleration, 89 agility. So he is going to be good. 59 awareness. So maybe that's why he was making a few mistakes last year when it came to like spin moves when he was already in the backfield and stuff like that. But should be pretty good. Should be pretty good there. But yeah, so we'll have to see how that all plays out. As load this up real quick. So we're expected to be 109th. We're not really expected to be that much better over the next few years, according to this. But again, this is where we were last year, and then last year we finished in like 60-something because of how good we turned out to be. So we'll have to see how all of that plays out. But that is going to do it for this episode. Nice little look at the offseason. Next season, I might actually have a little bit more involved in the offseason video, especially because we possibly will be moving on to a different team then. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it all plays out. So thank you all for watching. Definitely appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time for our first game of the season against Ball State.